Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Estelle again, and today we're going to be working on ordering numbers from least to greatest. We've used the place value chart tons and tons of time before, and we want to make sure that we are building on what we know. So last time we worked on comparing numbers. Now we're going to work on ordering numbers using the place value chart. And we're only focusing on two-digit numbers for this lesson. So we are looking at our tens place, which has a value of 10. And our ones place, which has a value of 1. So each time we build a number, we know however many tens we have, each one is worth 10. So we count by tens. And in our ones place, however many ones we have, we count by 1 because it has a value of 1. So we're looking at our values and we're building our numbers. And in this case, we're still using comparing, but we're ordering the numbers because there's more than 2. All right, so let's get started. All right, our first step for here, we know that we want to work with our numbers 67, we want to work with 56, and we want to work with 65. We are going to order these numbers from least, which is the smallest, to greatest, which is the largest value. All right, so to start, we're going to look at 67 and we're going to build our number. Now, if you have your base 10 blocks with you, you can build the numbers as well so that you can compare them. Make sure you're using your mat as well. So in this number, I know that 67 has 6 tens and 7 ones because we've already worked on the place value chart. So remember, you have to remember those things in order to do this when you're doing your lessons. So if I look at 67, I have my 6 tens, I have my 7 ones. As we're going through, you have to remember that 6 tens, because we're looking at that value, each 10 is worth a 10. So we count by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So we have a value of 60 for our 6 tens. And then we have 7 ones, which has a value of 7. 60 plus 7 is going to give us 67, which is the number we started with. Now I'm going to build 56. I know that 56 has 5 tens and 6 ones. So if we count by tens, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We have a value of 50, and 6 ones has a value of 6 because 50 plus 6 is 56. Now our last number we're going to build is 65. If we count our tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, we know that we have a value of 60, and 5 ones has a value of 5. Now, when we're ordering our numbers, just like when comparing, we're looking at our highest value because 10 is more than 1. So we want to look at that highest value to compare these numbers to figure out what's our smallest number and what's our largest number and what numbers go in between. So we're going to focus on doing that right now. So if I look at my numbers over here, I have values that are 60, I have a 50, and I also have 60 down here. My smallest value over here is 50 because I know 50 is less than 60. So automatically, our smallest number or the least number is 56. So I'm going to say we have 56 as our first number, the smallest. Now I have a dilemma because 60 is here and 60 is here. So what do? That's right. You go to the ones place. This number has already been used, so we don't need to look at that anymore. But now, because 67 and 65 have the same tens value, we want to look at our ones place. So we're looking at 7 ones and 5 ones. Now we're working from least to greatest, so we need to figure out the next smallest number. So I'm comparing 7 and 5. Which number's smaller? That's right. 5 is smaller. So 65 comes after 56, which means that our greatest number is 67. So from least to greatest, or smallest to largest, we have 56, 65, and 67. Okay, boys and girls. we are going to try it a different way. Sometimes you don't need to build them because you already have the knowledge of the place value chart. So we're going to look at the same numbers, but we are just going to use what we know. So over here, what I'm doing is I'm just going to write these numbers down because I know where they go. I know I have 5 tens and 6 ones for 56, 6 tens and 5 ones for 65, 6 tens and 7 ones for 67. Now, automatically, I can go through and I can say, I'm ordering from least to greatest, smallest to largest. So here, the same thing that we did previously, I'm going to compare the digits in the tens place because they have a value of 10. And then I'll go to the ones place if I need to because it has a value of 1. It's smaller than 10. So if I look at all of my tens, which number is the smallest? That's right. 5 is the smallest, and that's a value of 50. So I know that my 56 is my smallest number. So, of course, I'll put that up here and say 56 is my smallest number. Now, again, we said, look at that and look at that. They are the same, just like before. But now I'm comparing these numbers in the ones place. So I'm going to go to my ones place, and I'm going to say, which one is the next smallest number? Well, 5 is my next smallest number. So I know that 65 is the next number. And of course, my last number is 67. All right, boys and girls, that's 2 ways you can use to order numbers. You're comparing, yes, but you're going to order numbers here because we're dealing with more than 2. All right, let's see. We have another way. All right, so you can use your base 10 blocks, or you can use just writing the digits down to compare. You choose. Pause the video and then get started on ordering these numbers from least to greatest. Least to greatest, or smallest to largest. All right, boys and girls, so hopefully you have pressed play on the video and you are ready to show your work. So I am going to write down, because I don't want to use the base 10 blocks myself, but you may want to. I'm going to write all of my numbers: 56, 75, 65, 57, 67. And I want to order them from least to greatest. So I'm going to look at my tens place because, of course, I know that that value is the largest. And I'm going to look for the smallest number in the tens place. So I have 56 and I have 57. So 5 tens and 6 ones, 5 tens and 7 ones. So I'm now comparing 56 and 57. Do you guys know which one goes first? That's right. 56 comes before 57 when we're counting. And I can also look at my ones place to see 6 is smaller than 7. So my first 2 numbers are 56 and 57. So those numbers are done. We are no longer using those numbers. So now I'm looking at my next numbers and I'm looking at which has the next smallest value in the tens place. And I see that I have 6 tens and 6 tens. Same value, 60, right? So now we go to the ones place and we look 5 ones and 7 ones. Which is smaller, 5 ones or 7 ones? You're right. That is 5 ones are smaller. So I know that now we're using 65 and my next one is 67. Now what's left, boys and girls? My largest number, my greatest number. You are absolutely right. It is 75. So when I order these numbers from least to greatest, I have 56, 57, 65, and 67, and finally 75. All right, boys and girls, I hope you had a wonderful time, and I hope that you learned your lesson for ordering 2-digit numbers from least to greatest. You all have a wonderful, wonderful day.